All right, 2K family, hear me out. Hear me out. Let's have a dialogue. Let's have a discussion. The perfect 2K that could possibly be made will be a combination, I think, of 2K18's builder mixed with how 2K runs in the first week, any 2K, mixed with the overall gameplay of 2K24. Here's my reasoning. 2K18, I believe, is widely known as one of the worst 2Ks ever created, particularly because in that game, they essentially allowed the step back jumper to be the most unguardable move probably in 2K history. Where literally the entirety of the community at that time was step backing, difficult shots, Hall of Fame, money, and there was nothing you can do. Now, I could make a case that 2K22 might have been the worst 2K. I could make a case that 2K21 Next Gen might have been the worst 2K. 2021 Next Gen is because that was the year of the dunk. That was the year that Zion was on the cover, so everybody was getting contact dunked, no matter position, and the only person who could not get contact dunked was like pure rim protectors. And in 23 was the year of 22 was the year of sniper, where individuals was out here scoring 40 points in a game they did not green a shot. So they could make a case. But 18, for all the wrong that it had, you know, turning the corner and changing parks. Remember that? Even the story of getting to the NBA, the fact that you was just a street ball legend who ended up in the NBA because you won the street ball tournament, you got a shot at the NBA. That's probably the craziest way to get to the NBA. But the thing I remember most about 2K18 was the builder, the way you created your player, the way that you would create your player and it would have your primary play style and your secondary play style. And depending on what you clicked or the combination you came up with, the game determined what tier your badges could go to, what badges you could get, while also determining the attributes that you would use. That 2K, that style of builder is the closest thing to the pro 2K, the comp 2K that y'all continue to try to tell me about. That's the closest thing to that. And then on 2K24's behalf, incorporating the thing like pro play has brought a sense of variety to this game that is never seen before. From them literally being able to watch a game, use computer science and technology to be able to copy the animation from that said real life possession into the game is like groundbreaking, and it does make for a very good experience. Now, of course, the community will always ruin that experience, and before the comment section starts to lose their mind, let me beat you to the punch. And please listen very closely, because I swear to God, if there is a stupid comment in response to what I'm about to say, I promise you that would be your last comment on any video of mine for the entirety of your life and the existence of this channel. I promise you. I do not want to hear about how the builder brings variety and the builder is the best thing that ever happened to 2K. And why should we be punished as a community and be capped because of my dislike for the builder? Because I can't come up with combinations to make a player that I like. Why should we be punished and have the game decide for us of what player that we make? Y'all the same ones that have access to this builder and still use a YouTube video to make your player. It's called my career, yet you still make somebody else's player. So what's the difference? What's the difference if 2K decides what badges and what attributes that you get when you don't even decide what badges and attributes you get? You watch somebody else make a player and then make that said player and go out there and play. So what's the difference? And I don't want to hear skill gap. Do you know what a skill gap is? Do you know what a real skill gap is? A skill gap is not you're 6'8" and I'm 6'4" and you cook me because you're bigger, you're stronger, you get better animations than I get. A skill gap ain't I'm 6'4" and you running around because you're faster with the ball than I can keep up. Skill gap is if we are the same thing and we possess the same opportunities and I do more with what we both have, I'm better than you. I'm more skilled than you. You want to hear a good analogy? Life in itself. Everyone has an equal opportunity at life. Some people do get put in worse situations than others, but life itself is still there. If you're not dead, there's an opportunity for you. You are not better than any individual because of if your situation is better than another individual. You can't say that your life is better when your setup was already better from the get-go. You get what I'm saying? If you started with $1 million and this person started with $100, you are not better with your money because you have $1 million and he had 100. If you both started at 100 and you made $1 million and he stayed at 100, you can say that you're better than him because you did more with your opportunity when you had the chance. So when I correlate that back to 2K, I don't want to hit, if you and someone else have the exact same build with the exact same ratings and the exact same badges and you get cooked, he's better than you. His stick work is better than you. His reaction is better than you. You just have to improve. Could you imagine if this game took the gameplay style of 2K24, capped it behind builds that the community just had to pick from, and then we just went out there and played? How many people do you think would be on Twitter right now complaining about how bad the game is? This game sucks. Those same people that be complaining and would complain are the same people who right now make the same builds as somebody they once see. They make the same build and play the same style and play the same way as somebody else, and they don't even have their own style. You can be inspired by somebody else's play style, influenced by somebody else's style, and give it your own twist. But no, a lot of y'all copy and paste and expect different results. Copy and paste and then expecting the same results as the person you copy and paste from. How is that a difference? Look at YouTube. There's millions of creators on YouTube. Millions of creators. And the most successful creators have their own niche, their own style. And anybody who's followed them or was inspired or influenced by them was able to make their own channel based off of their channel, yet it's still different. It brings something different to the game. Now, 2K should really just do away with the builder in general, because as you can see, like the point I just made, you have all this freedom. You have all this opportunity to be able to create anything, yet we still make the same builds. A floor spacing slasher, a playmaking perimeter creator, a 3-point shot hunter, an interior threat, a high flyer. You can load up this game right now after this video, and just start make a tally mark on your paper. Get a sheet of paper and make a tally mark and put each build down there, and then just mark the tallies of the builds that you see. Just mark the tallies, mark them. Eventually you'll start seeing what? You'll start seeing the same build, especially the higher you get in competition, especially when you start to play them rec games and you don't won a couple games and now all of a sudden you in the purple and you playing a team of purple. That team of purple probably gonna be a 3-point shot hunter, a 3-point shot hunter, a hybrid defender, a defensive menace, and a glass cleaning spot up or 2-way spot up glass cleaner. You gonna see 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", 6'4", 6'4". So if we all making the same builds anyway, what difference is it going to make if the game just decided these are the builds we're going out here with? The game is basically already planting the seeds of doing that. That's why they have these templates. Stay woke. That's why they have these templates where they're starting to create your own player with your own attributes and your own build. I mean, your own badges. They're already starting to do it. But see, they don't want to full send into it because they know how the community is going to react. Because they gave you all this freedom, yet you still are bound. You're still bound. You still following somebody else anyway. So what difference would it make? That's why if you take 2K18's builder and you mix it with 2K24's gameplay, you might have your best version of 2K there is. Because sometimes simple is better. Sometimes simple is better. Having the 2K18 builder, everyone in the game knows what you can and cannot do. There's not a wild card. You don't have to guess or assume what somebody does. If that thing says a slashing shot creator, you know he can slash primary and he got a jump shot because of shot creating. It may not be high, but you know that he's a jump shooter. If you seen pure slasher, you know there was no jump shooting that build could have. You don't have to worry about him shooting from the top of the key or from limitless range or the wing. At best, he'll shoot from the corner. If that build said rim protector, you knew that his defense was high and his inside and his dunking was high, but there was no jumper to be found. If it said stretch, you know he can dunk. And if it said stretch, you know he could shoot, but he couldn't dunk. He couldn't contact dunk you. He's a stretch. But now you see a build called a high flyer. Yeah, he's 6'8" from the 3-point line. You see a build now that say a slasher, and he's 6'8" from the 3-point line. You see a break starter, and he 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. A hybrid defender, and he's 5 or 6 from the 3-point line. What do you think? What do you think would be the perfect 2K? I want to know what you would think from the 2Ks that we have all experienced right now. If you had to take 2 of them to make 2K25, which 2 would you take? You have to pick the builder from one and the gameplay style from the other to make your perfect 2K. What do you think that one would be? What combination of 2Ks would end up being the perfect 2K? Let me hear some feedback.